For as long as we've gazed up at the night sky, Mars has been more than just a red dot among the stars. It has been a mirror, reflecting our hopes, our fears, and our endless desire to explore. Now, after centuries of dreaming and decades of preparation, the impossible has begun to unfold. The first human colony on Mars, a fragile oasis on a cold and ancient world, has become reality. Here, 225 million kilometers from home, humanity is learning what it truly means to live beyond Earth. It is not the glossy vision of science fiction, not sleek domes and bustling cities, but a rugged, humbling, and profoundly human experiment in survival. This is not just a new chapter in exploration. It is the beginning of a new story of life itself, one written in red dust, solar light, and human perseverance. The first colonists did not arrive on Mars in a single leap. They came in waves. Decades of robotic scouts, automated cargo landers, and orbiting satellites paved the way. Every rover, from Spirit and Opportunity to Perseverance, was a scout for humankind, measuring radiation, testing soils, and searching for ancient signs of life. By the 2030s, the dream became a plan: reusable rockets, in situ resource systems, and interplanetary transport ships that could ferry humans across the void. When the first crew left Earth, they left behind everything familiar: blue skies, oceans, and the sound of wind through trees. Their voyage lasted 7 months, a slow drift through the emptiness between worlds. Each sunrise aboard their ship brought them closer to a destination that no human had ever touched, a place where every breath, every heartbeat, would depend on science, preparation, and each other. The descent to Mars was unlike any in human history. Through the thin Martian atmosphere, the first lander screamed toward the surface, its heat shield glowing like a miniature star. When it touched down in the region known as Arcadia Planitia, the world held its breath. The crew stepped out onto crimson soil, their boots pressing the first human footprints into alien ground. Above them stretched a salmon-colored sky. The sun was a distant spark. The horizon curved sharply, the landscape stretching out in endless plains of dust and stone. There was no sound but the faint hum of machinery and the rasp of oxygen through their suits. For the first time in history, humanity had become a multi-planetary species. The first colony was not grand, but it was beautiful in its simplicity. Inflatable habitats were erected in days, white domes glinting beneath the dusty light. Each one was connected by flexible tunnels, forming a tiny network of life amid the barren expanse. Inside, the colonists worked tirelessly to make Mars habitable, if only in miniature. Every breath of air, every drop of water, had to be generated, recycled, and preserved. Life support systems hummed constantly, producing oxygen from carbon dioxide using electrolysis powered by solar panels. Water was mined from subsurface ice deposits, purified and looped endlessly through filtration systems. Outside, robotic vehicles ferried cargo and materials, while 3D printers crafted tools and spare parts from Martian regolith. The colony was not a city. It was a lifeboat, a fragile outpost held together by science, teamwork, and sheer determination. The greatest challenge on Mars was not the cold, nor the radiation, nor the thin air. It was isolation. Every colonist carried the weight of distance. At best, messages to Earth took over 20 minutes to arrive. There could be no instant calls, no comforting voices. The planet was silent, still, and vast. To survive here meant more than physical endurance. It meant psychological resilience. The colony's crew became a family bound by necessity. They shared laughter, fear, and triumphs under the same dome, finding warmth in each other's company amid the endless night. They celebrated small victories: the first successful crop of lettuce grown in Martian soil, the first sunrise viewed through the colony's clear viewport, the first message from Earth congratulating them on surviving their first Martian year. Every achievement, no matter how small, felt monumental, because on Mars, survival itself is success. To live on Mars is to live in partnership with science. Every element of the colony's existence, from food to fuel, must be engineered with precision and care. Power comes from sprawling fields of solar panels that stretch across the landscape, cleaned regularly by rovers to fight off dust accumulation. Greenhouses filled with LED-lit crops provide food and oxygen, using hydroponics to conserve water. Waste is not discarded. It is repurposed, recycled, transformed into energy and nutrients. The colony operates as a closed loop, a living system modeled after Earth's own biosphere, but sustained entirely by human ingenuity. Each soul, each Martian day, brings new data, new discoveries, and new lessons about the limits of life. The colonists study everything: the radiation that seeps through thin atmosphere, the chemistry of Martian dust, and the behavior of human bodies under a third of Earth's gravity. Every experiment, every sample collected, brings us closer to understanding what it means to live, truly live, on another world. Mars is breathtaking, but it is not kind. Temperatures can drop to minus 120 degrees Celsius at night. Dust storms can rage for weeks, blotting out the sun and covering equipment in layers of fine, choking powder. A single puncture in a habitat wall could mean catastrophe. The radiation, too, is relentless: cosmic rays and solar particles that seep through the thin air and demand constant vigilance. Each colonist's life depends on meters of shielding, careful planning, and luck. Yet, even in this harsh environment, the human spirit endures. The colonists adapt, innovate, and evolve. They have learned that safety on Mars is not about eliminating risk. It's about outsmarting it, day after day, in the face of overwhelming odds. As the years pass, the colony grows. What began as a few domes expands into networks of tunnels, laboratories, and greenhouses. New habitats arrive with each launch window from Earth, modular structures built for long-term survival. The first children born on Mars change everything. They represent not just survival, but adaptation, the emergence of a truly multi-planetary humanity. Their bones, their lungs, their minds will evolve differently, shaped by the lesser gravity and thinner air. For them, Earth will not be home. It will be a distant story, a blue myth told through pictures and history lessons. They will grow up watching two moons rise and set, walking under salmon skies, knowing nothing else but life on the red planet. Mars will no longer be a frontier. It will be home. The first colony is not the end of the journey. It is only the beginning. From this small base, humanity dreams of expanding outward to larger settlements, terraforming experiments, even self-sustaining Martian cities. But for now, each day remains a test. Supply ships from Earth still bring crucial resources. A single mechanical failure could threaten years of progress. And yet, the colony persists, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Mars offers humanity more than a second home. It offers perspective. It shows us what we are capable of when we work together, when we embrace science, and when we refuse to surrender to fear. The first colony is not just about leaving Earth. It's about understanding it more deeply than ever before. Mars is no longer a dream. It is a reflection, of our courage, our curiosity, and our endless need to explore. The red dust beneath our feet carries echoes of ancient rivers, ancient atmospheres, and perhaps even ancient life. And now, it carries something new: footprints, human ones, etched into a world that once seemed unreachable.